Hey!
I cut that short. It's too long. Yeah, it's too long.
I was jigging away there.
Very short.
I thought this is going to be a very long show. I thought I'm definitely cutting that down. So I am. So how are you?
Give me a bit of warning.
Yeah,
No,
a little
can't do
bit.
that. What, were you doing your hair?
Well, you can see my bald patch at the back if I lean down, so hopefully that didn't come through.
Is that why you tried to turn the light off earlier?
It was indeed, yeah, but then you called me out, so I had to put it back on.
So how we doing? Jackie,
Good.
your studio's coming along a little bit.
It is, but I still haven't put my pictures up down the white panels yet. They're still tucked in the shelves, but I'll sort it out next week.
I can see Bob in the corner.
Yeah, Bob's there. Bob's there. Bob's always there. We love Bob.
Have you been flying?
Not this week, no.
I know your mum's still there. She goes
Yeah.
on the 8th.
Still got my mum visiting, yeah. So
Yeah,
And
I've had a few nice locations though. Been out exploring with
Yeah,
my mum.
I see that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like Mars with water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that's
good.
definitely a FPV zone, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
I managed to get the drone up in Harrogate. I went to Harrogate at the weekend. Beautiful
Oh,
little town. Big
Yeah.
town, I should say. But yeah, and the weather kind of broke, I'd say, Sunday morning early. The sun came out. So got the drone up, centre of Harrogate. Didn't get too much footage because I was strict for time. But if I go back up there, definitely taking the drone with me.
he actually made it yellow, Crackers. He actually proper yellow now. Come on, get rid of your screen and show everyone.
No, we got a busy show tonight. Would you like to give some shout outs?
I want to shout out to Harvey and Patrick, who were joint first in my channel.
Well, they joined first.
Yes, because they're arguing in a minute, so we're just going with joint.
I'd like to shout out to my fellow photographer, Headley Thorne, who's in the chat tonight.
Hey, Headley, how you doing?
We got one of his videos tonight as a premiere as well. We're going to crack on because we got a busy show. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
You're the boss.
You're not going to say anything else? All right, let's go.
I mean, what if we said...
Joining us tonight, we don't have one hot seat. We have two guests in Dave's hot seat. We have Stephen from the Flyby Guys, and we have Ian in London. To me, both of them drone royalty. Hopefully you enjoy the show as much as I'm going to. Right, Dave, I hit that button too quick.
Drone royalty, eh?
They are drone royalty. Over to you, Dave.
All I guess so.
I don't need to do anything now. That's all been done.
Yeah, done your job.
Thank you. So yeah, we
I'm
got
back
two
at the volcano up here in Iceland now. As many of you know, sadly, my faithful Mini 3 Pro suffered quite a bit of damage the other day. It flew a little bit too close to the crater there. It suffered significant melting on the underside, and it's also had its lens slightly damaged. It's very much beyond repair, and I actually have a bit of an issue with the fact that the lithium battery has suffered significant damage as well, making this not really suitable to take home on the plane either. So I've come back here because I think it's only right that after 3 months of faithful service, given the damage that it's had, I think it's right that we decommission this little Mini Pro and send it on its final flight and say goodbye to it in style. down. Oh, okay. Okay. Aircraft disconnected. Goodbye, little Mini 3 Pro. You served me well. That's really sad. That is really sad. Oh, look at that huge explosion. Maybe that was it, saying thank you. Right, okay, there we go. Let's go.
Oh, melted.
In the house.
Lordy, lordy, lord, that really does still bring a tear to my eye.
You
I
were
think it's
genuinely upset then, weren't you? Genuinely.
I genuinely was. Come on, guys, you know what it's like. Every time anyone flies a drone, there's always that little sense of relief when it finally lands
That's
safe.
it, yeah.
And there's
Yeah,
been no drama.
You ever
Yeah,
lose
that-
signal, it's like,
Of course you do. And, you know, I felt bad, genuinely like murdering this drone. And it only actually really hit home when it'd gone. And I'm like, that's it. I've got the remote, nothing
you
else
can
coming
see
back.
it, you can see it in your face, actually.
Yeah, it genuinely was really
Yeah.
sad. All the little hairs up in my arm again now, you see. So,
You made Headley
There could be
cry.
emotion there.
Ah.
There's definite emotion in there, I think, for sure. But what I want to know is, what did your insurance company say?
I'm not stupid. I didn't tell them. I copied down to DJI Reykjavik and just bought a new one. So
Yeah, I remember.
I was. So look, a few things I need to kind of quickly cover there. So I saw one comment, you know, what do you fly so close to the peak for and the like. So look, Headley, hello Headley Thorne. Nice to be seeing you later. Now he's got a decent drone, and the year before, I went to Iceland and got decent footage of the volcano using my Mavic 2 Pro, which is built like a little battle tank. Of course, I was on a much larger volcano then, so I flew to the point that the crater filled the viewfinder. I worked out probably about 50 meters above the crater and built like a tank. The Mavic 2 Pro survived absolutely fine.
Mm.
A year later, there I am with the Mini 3, and of course, it's much lighter weight plastic, sadly weaker, lower melting point, and crucially, it was much smaller crater, but I stupidly flew down to fill the screen. And of course, I worked out that I was probably only about 15 meters above that. And what's going to survive that?
But you did get it back.
You were there. That first time in Iceland, that's when you sold the footage to that TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah, Alexander Armstrong in Iceland has happened to be
that was
filming
Channel 5.
a documentary, and I saw them in the hotel a couple of days later. And I said, "Have you been filming that volcano?" This is, I said, the first big eruption a couple of years ago. And they said, "Oh, we did hire a local." Alexander Armstrong is a really nice guy, really nice guy. He said, "Yes, we did hire a local drone guy, but we got some footage." And I thought, you know, sort of, I had it on my phone, and I just said to them at breakfast, I said, "Did you get any footage like this?" And all 8 of them in the production team were just like, "Oh my God." And yeah, we got that after that, and it got used. So I actually said to them, I wasn't after any money at all. I said I was pretty proud of the footage I'd got, and I was happy to, you know, for as many people to see it. As it is, they did pay me a few £100, so that's quite good.
Nice.
That's very good.
But a year later, getting caught out with the Mini 3 Pro, I knew something had gone wrong in a mid-flight when things had gone blurred. And as it was coming back to me, I could see bits dangling off the bottom. And I was like, I got it. And I could see the whole underside was pretty much
So you didn't do a hand catch that day then, no?
No, funnily enough. So yeah, I came back to the hotel. Sorry, go on, Steve.
One question I have for you about when it came back. Obviously, the battery was welded.
Yeah.
Inside.
Oh, yeah.
Did you still manage to charge it?
So don't do this at home,
because I noticed that it was clearly full.
Yes. The body was swollen. The battery absolutely could not get it out. But in a safe location, I plugged in a power bank and charged it back up again. And I thought, great, I'll get one more flight out of this. And I literally, I just thought, actually, you know what? Seeing as the volcano's melted it, why doesn't the volcano get it? So yeah, I took it back there and thought I'll just see how it all goes. When I did it, I did not think it would be quite so harrowing, especially as it kept on fighting against being pushed down into it.
It just seemed a bit wrong, doesn't it?
It survived a long time, didn't it?
It did survive a long time, and then it was very. And of course, I only had one shot at it. I was recording the remote, and so I was recording the screen on the remote, and you obviously also get the low res stream thing. But yeah, I was like,
because you weren't getting that SD card back, that's for sure.
No, I'm not stupid.
That was my question. You were recording it.
Yeah. So
that was optimistic.
And I don't know if you heard, Ted's just heard something out there. He's barking. I had to sacrifice an SD card. So I took out my 256 gig, mega expensive one. And I had to put in a low value SD card. Otherwise, record would not work. So, and of course, if record isn't working, it's not going to stream anything back. So I could have recorded the screen, but I wouldn't have got the low res stream. So I still had to sacrifice an SD card as well. So, there we go.
I was just thinking when you were hovering over and it was just about to go in, I was thinking that this would have been the perfect time to just push in the sticks and let it
just do an
emergency stop.
What? But it wouldn't record then, would it?
I'm wondering what happens there. Shall I do a test on that? That sounds like a little test for me to do. Does your drone stop recording if you do an emergency stick stop? And crucially, can you still see through the camera view as well?
Yeah, you'd be gutted if you'd done that.
But anyway, there we go. Yeah, it still brings a little tear to my eye. And lesson learned. I didn't go back for the last eruption in Port Grindavik, but take a Russian tank. Headley.
I have to say, I bet you every single person in this stream feels the same way when they lose their own drone. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, absolutely. It was really sad, and it made it worse. Sad. I felt like a drone murderer. I really did.
I still look at the lighthouse where my first drone, my Spark, drowned. And I look and I go, I know you're in there somewhere.
Well, hey, I share your pain. Every time I go down towards Folkestone and Dover, I still wonder if that little Mavic Pro is somewhere down there on the cliffs. And that was 5 years ago. They're the only two drones I've lost, one by accident and one on purpose. So there we go.
We don't normally have this. This is the first time we've had two hot seat guests on. So we're going to show our next video.
It's Stephen. And Stephen, actually, you've got
high royalty now, Stephen.
You're definitely royalty. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
Do you hold the world record, Stephen? For the amount of Teslas you recorded?
Yeah, we've held a few world records for a few different things, but but we done the Tesla light show here in Finland in November, just back there in November, And there's been a few attempts to try to beat it, and every one of them has failed. But we're going for the next one in October this year, which will be bigger. And
so how many more are you adding? Are you doing like 10 or 20 or 100?
It's going to be, well, I think, I can't officially say, but it should be hopefully 4 digits.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Yeah. But, and we have we have the area that we were doing it in, but it was actually it was a car park of a horse stadium where they do these, the horse and cart thing where they go kind of round and you actually race them. So it was that, but we're going to do it in that stadium, right. And I've got a few ideas for the next one because we want to make it better. But I also I'm thinking about a competition where we could maybe get 1 or 2 pilots to come and join us.
Pick me.
and I got it, and I promise if we have a volcano, Ian's definitely going to be there. Okay.
You're always somewhere pretty posh, aren't you? You do get around, Stephen, to all the glam places in the world.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what it is, being royalty.
Yeah, high royalty.
Well, sometimes you do get treated like royalty, and sometimes you don't. But and the times that you do, it's quite nice and stuff.
Stephen,
I can assure you, I don't get treated like royalty on this show.
Stephen, once I got a happy little bit of correspondence from the CAA complaining that I was flying 2 drones at the same time. I think they actually changed the drone code to cover that, because up until that point, there was nothing in the drone code about flying more than 1 drone at the same time. Presumably, they thought no, I'd be stupid enough to do it, but they didn't think of me. And I double checked with people, and no one could see a rule. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, they emailed me and said, "Yeah, you can't fly more than 1 drone." And look, we've updated the drone code to show this. Are you going to explain to us how you can fly 250 drones at the same time without getting
You've been waiting to ask that question, haven't you?
Because he doesn't. He's already got a team that does it for him.
I mean, we do have special permission, of course, and every time we do these things, it's set in stone that and we've never been checked. I know that we've had threats or we've had, let's say the local CAAs have been saying that they'll come down and see us and stuff. And it's usually that they just come down and they want to see the show and see the drones and stuff, but they never come down and say, well, we want to come and check. I mean, there's always a lot of trust there, which of course is good. But yeah, flying. I mean, the most we've flown is 1,500. But yeah, it's a big responsibility. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress.
1,500 drones.
Yeah,
that is a big responsibility.
The last question, because I don't want to hog you. But how long do the batteries last, and how many men do you have and women do you have to change the batteries? Especially,
these are 2 examples of light show drones. Okay,
right.
So this, if you can see, this is the Intel drone, right? This
ding, 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 ding.
I think it looks like jellyfish.
And so I mean, or actually, this was the very first one. Actually, this was the first one. This doesn't have any prop because I use this to do site survey. So I take this on the plane with me. So these charge on pods, right? So we don't have anyone to actually change batteries, right? So these charge on pods, and then they take off, and they can land on the pod, right? These fly for about 11, 12 minutes. These ones. Right. This is about 8, 9 minutes. This one, and this one. This is actually a Parrot. This is Parrot Anafi. This is from Dronisauce, the French company. This lasts 15 minutes.
That's not a long time, is it?
The Parrot Anafi is like 3.5, 4 grand, and you've got a couple of hundred of them.
We've got a couple of thousand of them actually.
I hope they're giving them to you for sponsorship. Wow, that's
actually the way that it works is that I mean, they are the basis of what they are, but you can 3D print and stuff. And the company we work with has a license, so if we need stuff, then then you. But with that one, with the Parrot and Afi, there's a battery that you take off, so you have to physically take these off and charge them. So if you're doing a 400 show, let's say a 400 show, you need to have 1,200 of these.
Oh,
Wow.
Jeez.
That's more Teslas then.
Yeah,
you do.
You have to have someone specifically doing a job of battery management. That's their job.
Yeah.
You need
I
to do
volunteer.
behind the scenes videos, mate.
Dave, would you like to introduce the next video, please?
Okay,
before
so
we move on,
the next
Tony.
one is from Stephen from Flyby Guys, and this is talking about the regularly logging out of the accounts from DJI. This is yours is a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
It's definitely
Hit that
one you
button,
need to
Tony.
Being logged out of your DJI account is the most infuriating thing that can happen to you just before you fly. Or you might even find out that you are flying and you don't have the ability to get above 30 or 50 meters. This is very infuriating, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Hi everyone, Stephen from the Flyby Guys, and it's good to see you again. Just before we get going, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because our subscribers have been growing a lot recently, and I really appreciate everyone joining and getting involved, and I'm really happy that we're able to help you. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and give this video a like because this is a subject that is affecting everyone. So getting back to the point in hand, the DJI Fly account. So when you're logged out, and this is happening a lot, and I think it's happening about once a month to everyone, or even it could even be a bit more, you are finding that you have to log back into the account in order to reach a certain height because you'll be stuck at 30 or 50 meters. Now this is very infuriating because if you're trying to catch the light, if you're trying to catch a moment, if someone is not going to wait for you and you're stuck at a certain height because you're not logged in, this is a problem. So what I would suggest is that you actually, before you leave home, before you leave your hotel or wherever it is, that you sit down for 5 minutes and make sure that you're logged in. And if you're not, log in, update the FlySafe database, then everything should be okay. Because if you're out there and you find that you are not logged in, and you might be in a position where you don't even have any network connection. So if you don't have network connection, then you also can't log in because you need to be logged into the network in order to log in, which again is quite infuriating. So why doesn't DJI do something about this? It's quite annoying. And just want to say that when I'm flying with the enterprise units, this doesn't happen to me actually. So for some reason, it's only happening with the Mavic 3s and all the rest of it, but not the enterprise. So quite annoying. So make sure that you check before you leave home or your hotel that you're logged into the account and everything is up to date, so that when you leave and you go and you're going to start flying, that you're not going to be interrupted and you're not going to stop anything, because it can be very, very infuriating. Thank you everyone. I hope this was helpful. I know this was helpful because this is affecting everyone. Make it a part of your pre-flight. Always check, but I would check before you leave home as well, because it's as simple as making sure your batteries are charged, making sure your controller's charged, making sure that you're logged into your account. It's really simple, even though we all forget, and it does happen to me as well when I least expect it. So it happens to the best of us. Okay, thank you. We'll see you on the next video, and fly safe.
Well explained, Stephen.
Yeah, and it's actually really bizarre because I had so many comments from people where they're saying it happens to me all the time, and then people saying it never happens to me, and then they comment 2 minutes later saying it's just happened to me. You're like, so it's so bizarre how it does affect everyone. But
Absolutely. Touch wood, it's never happened to me yet, but
oh really? Wow.
maybe next time.
It's happened to me twice recently.
Has it?
I read some chappie who works in the wilderness, so hasn't got any mobile phone signal. It could have been Antarctica or it could have been Canada, one of the two. I think it is something to do with just not having internet access, and it will log you out within either a month or 3 months. And it was driving him mad because he said if he's out working, he won't have mobile phone signal, and he's got no way of fixing the situation at all. He's got to physically remember when he's in the city or something to log everything on again and make sure. So it is a crap idea.
And that literally just restricts you to a certain height, does it?
Yeah.
You can't get any more.
Yeah.
30 meters, I think it is. Is it, Stephen?
Yeah.
Is it
I think it's 30 meters, and I think even it can be 50 meters. It just depends. I think they maybe changed it. I had it there when I was flying outside here, and it was actually 30 meters. And yeah, it's very, very infuriating because it's more. And when you're this is like when we had the Tesla show, for example, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had four drone pilots, and we all I think we had about 16 batteries. We're all using Mavic 3s apart from the FPV pilot, and we spent a lot of time going through the settings and making sure that we had the right resolution, that we had the same exposure, and we had the same aperture. Just to make sure that everything, but obviously making sure that we were logged in. Because when when they have the countdown and you all the cars are there and stuff, and then you put the drone up and it's like, I've only got 30 meters. It's like so those kind of things, because you only get one chance at these things, and if you don't, then you're just going to screw it up, So.
Yeah, it happens to Tony quite often, but obviously 30 meters for Tony is still quite high. So
anyway, on that, will you be able to stay with us, young man? Royalty?
Yes.
Perfect. Jackie, I know it's not in order, but it's over to you.
Who am I introducing first? Because you've muddled me completely now. Is it?
I did it deliberately. It's Slim Jim. Everything tonight that was shown is all premieres. So the videos that have not been shown on the World Web or whatever you want to call it. So over to you, Jackie.
Interweb thing.
Okay, we've got a premiere from Slim Jim, and you'll love this because Jim makes awesome videos.
That's great.
And P.S. If you don't like bad language, turn off the last 2 seconds.
do a bit of quad fishing. Come here, lad. Come here. Come on. Oh, he's biting. He's biting. Oh, I got a big one. Oh, a bit wet, lad. Let's unplug ya. You rolling down the fucking hill as well. I'm gonna stay there.
Oh. I hope the Insta wasn't in there at the start, because it wasn't in there at the end, was it?
Did it still work after that?
I don't. He's in the chat, so
He is in the chat somewhere.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be one.
Wasn't
Your
it?
favourite video.
It will probably not work. You know, the battery will have to be thrown away.
Yeah.
No, mate, just plug it in and see what happens.
Just take it somewhere nice and warm.
Yeah.
I have to tell you.
Volcano.
I have to tell you, I met up with Jimmy at Christmas, and he does fly like an idiot because he flew his drone straight at me, and I looked around, and there was a drone coming at me, and apparently I'm like that.
That was an impressive video. That was pretty.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Very
He's
good.
a really nice bloke.
Well
as
done,
well.
sir.
Talented pilot.
Oh, he's awesome, and he's a good hot seat guest as well. So
Did
have
I-
you?
Sorry, go on, mate.
I was just going to ask, have you or Stephen flown FPVs like that?
Not like that.
I've never flown FPV before.
Wow.
It
fun.
is great fun, but
I have tried. I've actually flown the DJI Avatar. I've actually flown it inside. I've never flown it outside, but I've flown it around an office. So I have flown it when it was first released, but I've never flown it. I've never flown an FPV. Let's say for fun outside. Or I've just not had the chance.
Oh, make time. It's brilliant.
I know. It's on my to do list.
Charging your batteries.
He's just said it was fresh water, so washed off, and it was okay.
Oh,
really?
brilliant.
Okay.
Good.
perfect.
Yeah, but how was the battery?
Well,
Yeah,
Wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, it's
Yeah.
FPV. They crash them 20 times a day, mate. I think you've got to knock your what's the word? Not worry so much, basically.
I also,
Well, the reason why I know is because with these these light show drones, we're usually fishing them out of the water.
I have to say, when I did meet up with him, he had this big, massive bag, and I'm thinking, what's he got in there? And he opened the bag up, and there was
Rescue gear.
batteries
Telescopic
everywhere.
ladder.
I don't know if I have one.
That's not a bad thing to have.
I don't know if I have one here, but what we usually have when we're on a show, because usually we usually fly over water, so we always have a fishing net.
Ah, useful.
We always have a fishing net.
Remember, Steve, as well, the batteries for the FPVs are normally like less than an inch square. They're tiny little things, aren't they? So a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We're thinking about investing in a ladder, aren't we, Dave?
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
I
Nice
would
telescopic
just get good friends in the area.
Yeah. New
But
friend.
I cheated. I did I was playing around with the DJI FPV. I think in my video I just say it's a hooligan's drone, and it is, frankly, bonkers. And the trouble with it, of course, it's not a proper FPV, because the moment you crash it, it's going to be.
That's it.
you know.
Yeah.
The Avatar, however we're pronouncing it, that was a better bit of kit.
Mm.
And inadvertently, I did test crashing that at full speed into a brick wall.
Yeah, it
And
just bounces, doesn't it? It's
it
brilliant.
just bounced. It
Yeah.
was brilliant. I crashed it when I was staying with a mate in Malta. And I was, of course, the whole thing with FPVs, you've got to skim. You haven't got to, you got to play it, get
Yeah,
close.
that's it.
And it just clipped some pampas grass and just went straight down into this brick wall. And it just flew. Nothing was broken. And, so yeah, great fun. Love it.
Yeah.
Keep meaning to do more of it. There you are. It's brilliant. I mean, it's a completely different skill set. And when I see a decent FPV video like that, I just think, I'm a Sunday afternoon driving this Daisy drone pilot sometimes. Because they are so much better.
It's the noise that puts me off. That's always
that's true.
Yeah, but
they're very noisy, and I'm very conscious about people actually not liking drones, to be honest with you.
I flew down at Beachy Head once because they've got the South Downs National Park has got a blanket anti-drone policy, so of course I ignore it. If they allow lorries, buses, and kids, then really that's my policy.
Yeah, one isn't make a difference, is it?
But what was really cool is I'm trying the Avatar out, and I'm flying out over the sea and then zooming straight up and skimming the cliff face. And I thought, if that had actually hit, it's a bloody log dropped down at the bottom of those cliffs at Beachy Head.
I'll walk to go and get it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to get it. But you're right. They are noisy.
Yeah.
And they can piss people off if you're flying in the wrong place. I think I saw on one of those chimneys, I thought I made the words out Stuartby. I'm wondering if that was the old Stuartby clay pits in Bedfordshire, because I remember they used to have.
He gets around a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, but then they didn't have cooling towers. And I saw there's obviously some good cooling tower shots there as well. So that was just a brilliant video. Really, just absolutely.
It looked like he was flying where we flew in the Abbey. Did he fly through that?
That was Waverley Abbey. That's Waverley Abbey, yeah.
Waverley Abbey, 100%.
Yeah, that's where Dave waved goodbye to his drone.
Only for about an hour. Someone got me an extendable ladder.
We talk about Stephen having some world records, but we've actually got a world record holder ourselves on the show, haven't we? Dave.
Pregnant.
The world record for hitting the most poles and holes.
Yeah, you can guarantee if there's a pole in a hole, Dave's going to do a PhD on it.
At least I've got my PhD now.
Holes and holes, Dave. Anyway, this next video is going to be a little bit quieter, more sedate. Over to you, Liam. Albion Drones.
Yeah, well, thanks, Tony. Yeah, so as Tony said, this is Albion Jones, and let's play the video.
Again, these are all premieres, so they've not been shown anywhere else. That's why there's not much of a description on them.
Beautiful.
Great video.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Makes lovely
Susanna
videos.
always puts out really good videos.
She's on the Alan Titchmarsh show. I think it's next Sunday or the Sunday after. And someone
You've been
else
there,
on.
Tony.
I'm on again
I'm
on
sure
the
you've been
10th of.
on there, haven't you?
I've been on 4 times, and I'm on the 10th of March as well.
What capacity is that for?
Hang
Well,
on.
you are a world record holder. You're the drone
What
pilot
are you doing on the show?
on the Alan Tishmar show.
Mine's the one I'm doing is Cheddar Gorge.
Ah,
But
Copy
I can't
and Jim.
remember what. Yeah, I can't, oh, yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but when I was down there, there was one of those. I didn't notice, but when I checked my footage, there was one of those base jumpers that just jumped off, and he was just landing, and I missed him, so I did. I thought that would have been nice.
No,
But
I'll tell you what, mate. I tried capturing base jumpers in America up in Colorado, and it's actually really, really, really hard because they're a tiny dot and they're moving a lot. But Cheddar Gorge, beautiful, isn't it? There. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, good place.
are you showcasing footage that you have filmed on Alan Titchmarsh's show? I was thinking it was more gardening.
No, he does. He does. No, the Sunday morning one. He does a drone. He does a drone show slot every Sunday, about half an hour before the show finishes.
Really? Who knew?
It's not a
call
Pacific
it-
drone show shot, is it?
Yeah, it's always drones. So he does. They do a shot where people send in all the photographs, but half an hour before the show finishes, they always do a drone shot, a drone slot, and it lasts about five minutes. Or does they do a really good slot on it?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was all about gardening.
Yeah.
No, this show's totally different. So it is. It's filmed in his house somewhere near Portsmouth, Hampshire, somewhere, and every
Joy,
every
isn't
ti- yeah. Ode to Joy, it's called. That's it. If you go and check out Ode to Joy, he basically does a 5-minute drone video from anybody at all. And Susie's had 3 or 4 on there.
Is that going to cost me money if I go that
Composting drones.
that in my
Do you know
web browser
something?
now?
But you know something? That's actually a really, really good idea. You know why? Because there's so much negativity and rubbish out there about drones and the press, blah, blah, blah. Getting that kind of exposure is quite good for social acceptance. I think that's actually quite good.
He's really good because he always gives a big chat about it after, saying about how good it is, and they add their own music to it as well. But yeah, it's been going now for 2 years, and they've always had this on. I only found out about it about.
That's the first I've heard about it. But I mean, you'll hear all the rubbish in the press about, you know, some plane had seen a drone as they were landing and all that, you know, which of course wasn't, you know, obviously wasn't true, obviously. But then you have Alan Tishmarsh, but that's not news, is it? So you're not going to get that. So.
But he still has about 3 million people watching on a Sunday morning.
So, is that on his YouTube channel? I'm guessing it's not BBC One.
No, it's ITV.
Okay. Wow. All right. Good stuff.
You're probably still flying over volcanoes at that time.
Is it recovering from the hangover, you mean?
Oh,
Right.
Liam, this next one is yours. Ian, you'll know this person, so you will.
Ian or
So-
Liam?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
me, I think so.
Liam's doing it, but Ian will know who it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've got to apologise first to Headley because he invited me to meet up with him and I couldn't make it. And I did say I would reach out to him and organise something else. So, Headley, apologies. I will make sure that we meet up soon. I think you wanted to go to the White Horse in
Uffington?
Uffington. Yeah, got some great shots. So. And I'll make sure I come on my own. I won't bring the Mitchell brothers.
Tony's just about to explode.
Where was our invite?
In the post, Tony. In the post, it's coming. It's coming. Anyway, as you can probably guess, this next video is Headley. So it's a short one, but yeah, Tony, hit the button. Let's have a look.
Oh, very short and sweet.
Very
I
short.
know that was short, but if you're on Threads or if you're on Instagram, please go and check Headley out. His photography is absolutely
It's
fantastic.
lovely.
As
Yeah.
Quackers say, as Quackers said, I love the colours in it. Really good.
Yeah,
Brought 'em
really,
right out.
really sharp in it as well.
Well, he even though he's always hiking, he's got the Mavic 3. So yeah, he's always got that big old lens, and he's capturing it all in all its glory. So
Nice.
absolutely smashing clips there. I do follow him on Instagram. He's always putting up beautiful, beautiful shots. And it's
Yeah.
like, I need to go there as well. So yeah, it's, brilliant.
And he changes a lot of them into really good art photos as well, because he had a studio recently, so he was awesome. So I know this show isn't a normal one, but please sub, like, share, comment, and put your links in the chat if you've got any new videos that are coming up or anything that you want us to showcase, or if you want to recommend anybody, please let us know.
Yeah, and check out their other social channels, Instagram, Threads, and stuff like that. If you can follow people there as well, that's really, really important.
Absolutely.
Dave, it's over to you.
Is it? It's Ian again, is it?
No, it's
No, Ian from London. Sure.
Yeah.
it's Stephen's. It's Stephen's second one.
Was it?
Sorry, did we
Okay.
wake you up, Stephen?
No, I wasn't expecting a second one. It's okay. I was enjoying everybody else's.
This
I've
is
got
such a
different running order
well-oiled
than
machine.
everyone else. Anyway, but this is Helsinki in Finland. This is one of your light shows.
Ah, okay.
Lovely.
Perfect.
Flyby guys, rock!
Fantastic.
That was with the Parrot Anafi. That was
400 of those.
and a fairly ballsy FPV.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that, Ian.
Was that Henry?
That was Henry. Yes, that was Henry. So I managed to find an FPV pilot here in Finland that I really got to know well, and when you get an FPV pilot,
hello. Sorry, Steve. Ted was very impressed with the dog.
Oh, I love that dog.
He was very impressed that you managed to convey a dog walking in the sky. He was really impressed with that one, buddy. So.
Dogs love drone shows because there's no loud bangs and stuff, So,
better than fireworks.
You're absolutely spot on there, Stephen. Poor Ted, he's really got bad with fireworks lately, and they're just brilliant. They're so beautiful.
Yeah,
my dog hates
dogs. People who suffer from conditions where, but there's some kind of spectrum as well. Obviously it affects them as well. But the whole thing is I'm going to make a video about that very subject, because a lot of people do think that drones are the new fireworks and all the rest of it, and this is going to replace. In actual fact, it's not. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time, because it's really cultural, fireworks, and you'll never get rid of them. Not in our generation.
Especially, mate, if you, I moved down to Sussex. I want to say they're fucking nuts down here about fireworks and fire. They've got 30 different fireworks societies, and they just go marching through the towns with their flaming torches. The one they do at Lewes. Yeah. Everyone knows about the Lewes one. Mate, it happens in every single town for like the month before. So, you're never going to get rid of fireworks. And, fair dues. They're brilliant. They're good fun, but they have their issues as well.
They actually do have their issues. But just getting back to this FPV thing, when you have, because I was going to talk about what was in the F1 and the Red Bull.
Brilliant, isn't it?
You've probably seen that as well. Well, we also worked with them on a drone show. So they were actually with us on our New Year show in Amsterdam. We done, I think, last year. So the Dutch Drone Gods. So the guy who was flying that drone, he was flying FPV for a show we were doing. And he is good. He is good. He's really good, Keith. He's some pilot.
So you're comfortable there was no chance of him actually hitting one of your drones?
It's a really bizarre process, Ian, because when you talk with these guys, I don't know if you know the other guy who I can't remember his name, but we done a show with him in Amsterdam as well last year. The guy who flew at the volcano. You've probably seen it. Everyone's seen it.
Not good and talk, but I know the one you mean. He did it properly.
Yeah. So we had a show for Van Gogh. It was some anniversary, and he just showed up. he was part of the production, and he was, he said, "Yeah, I'm flying FPV." Because I didn't know the guy, right? I didn't know him, and I had about 45 minutes until I felt comfortable that he could do it, and we're showing him some images, and he's going, "Yeah, I can fly through that." Oh, and I'm going, "Oh,
that as well."
Let's talk. Let's talk. So it took me about 45 minutes, and
no, Dave,
comfortable. He was like, "Okay, you can do it," and he was like, "Yeah," and he done it. So, he was like,
when you're flying your collection of drones, your swarm of drones, is that the term? Is that the collective noun? I don't know.
Yeah.
When you're flying your swarm of drones, are they generally vertically over dead space, like water or empty? You're never flying over crowds of people.
Never. We have about, we have 100 meters where you could have, which is the size of the show, and then you'll have 100 meters each way of the buffer zone.
Wow. Okay. So had he actually hit one of your drones, it wouldn't really have been a big deal.
It wouldn't have been an issue. It just would have looked, it may have looked bad. It's never happened. It's actually never happened.
A little drop just falling down and just
yeah.
ruining your picture.
It's not happened yet, but by the sound of it, Ian wants it to happen.
It's never. I've done about 4 or 5 shows now with FPV drones, but it's really about getting the FPV pilot, sitting them down and going through the animation and seeing how he reacts. Like the guy who done that show in Helsinki, and he also done the Tesla show as well, Henry. And I, he's come here to the office and we sit there, we have coffee and we talk, and I get to know. It's really getting to know how he listens and how he acts and stuff, and then you get that trust. And once you have that trust, you just go for it, go. And like I said, the Tesla show, that was one take. So when you watch the Tesla show and you watch the FPV, you watch us, that's all one take. At least with this one, with this Helsinki show, there, he had a night's rehearsal beforehand, and then he had he had the show which he done there, and he was getting braver and braver. But that's the first drone light show he ever done. So
when he was flying through them, was that actually drones that's not around the area, that's not actually lit up as well?
That's a really good question, and that's exactly the point. You could have drones that are sitting behind, which are waiting to be in the next one. Yeah, so that's why you have to work with them to say, if you do that, then don't do it there because there's drones behind. But actually, he has a really good, he has a really good GoPro, and he can actually see the drones. He can actually see the ones that are not lit up.
Oh, really?
So he can see them. Actually, so he knows himself.
You're behind the scenes there, then. So you say you've got quite a short battery life. Are some of your shows longer than the battery life of the drones? Do you have literally more drones taking off in a new swarm, if you like?
No, you can now. With actually these drones, you can do that. So you can have a continuous show for like 3 hours. So you can have focus. So you can have a continuous show for like 3 hours, so you can have maybe 1,500 drones, where you can have 500 drones take off, do the show, and then just before they land, you can have 500 drones take off again, and they'll go back in charge, and it just continues.
Wow, that's crazy. That's quite a logistical nightmare, really.
Yeah,
there's a lot of planning there. So is it specifically you, Stephen, that does the planning, does the orchestra of it? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So are you creating? Because obviously you have the design. You will. It's a 3D design you've got to do. You've also got to have the orientation, if you like, the front of view, the front of stage. So what do? You sit with the client. You say what sort of things you can do. Do you go to them with ideas? Do they say, "I want it to do this"? How does it work?
I bet they say, "I want this," and Stephen says, "No, you can't do that."
I'm good, but not that good.
Usually we're very open-minded with them, and it's a fairly long process. I mean, that show that we done there was the beginning of October. We started to discuss with the client end of May, beginning of June or something, and that's when you start to talk about what's your theme, what's your story, what do you want to tell, and then they'll start talking about images and stuff, and they'll start telling a story, and then you jot that down. They'll send you some images of things that they want, and then we'll give that to the animators, and they'll come back and say, can you change that color? Can you do this? Blah blah blah.
That fell off the table.
Don't let animals in your studio.
It's usually a kind of a long process, which is really bizarre because you do a show like that and it lasts 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But the whole process is like 3 months, 4 months, and then
I'm guessing, Steve, you've got the software to completely animate it on screen. You never actually have to do for the client, you wouldn't have to do a trial run just to show them what it's going to be like, or do you?
Well, we would have what we call a dress rehearsal, where we will do a show for them, and that was the rehearsal that we done. So we do some test flights, and we'll have a dress just to kind of do a handover. But they will get a video. So each time we have a round, so there's so we kind of do kind of scrum meetings with them, and each week they will get a video of the show. And then they can go to their client and say, "What do you think of this?" Blah blah blah. And funny story is that when we had that rehearsal, we always have rehearsals at like 2-3 in the morning, because that's when it's kind of the most quiet. There's no one around. So we had the client there for this show. They were actually from Asia, and they came there, and because I was pilot in command, so I wasn't with them, but the project manager was there, and they were standing watching the show, and they just had tears in their eyes,
Yeah.
So they were fine,
I'm not being cordy, mate. You make beautiful creations that most people can't ever imagine seeing. So, I can understand their reaction.
It's like you watch it on screen, don't you? And you think that's amazing, but it's only 2D when you watch it on screen. Imagine watching it in 3D. One day.
Well, the thing is, for me, I mean, for that show in Helsinki, I was actually standing at the left-hand side, so I actually had a view which was just like a line of drones. So I couldn't. So it was just a mess to me.
Steve, that's then one last question. Is it a two-dimensional flying experience for all the drones, just obviously using perspective, or is it three-dimensional?
It depends on the amount of drones. So for example, if you have 1,500 drones, which we had, so then you can do like full 3D, where it doesn't matter where you stand.
Yeah, because of the audience. That's isn't it?
But then if you're very creative, you can do like a 300 show, 400 show, where you can have it looking very 3D, but only in one position.
Yeah.
If you stand somewhere else, it just looks crap.
Like one of those drawings you see on the pavements. Yeah. From one angle, it's like a hole. And
they're clever, aren't they?
Cool. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's good.
Very good.
We have 3 videos left, in case anybody's thinking, what the hell time is it?
Yeah, I know. It's my fault, isn't it?
No, we have no worries whatsoever. Royalty can speak all day long. Over to you, Dave.
All right, so this is meant to be the third one, Mickey Moo. I didn't get it wrong. It's just down on this bit of paper. This is another one from Ian in London. This is to do with the DJI Fly Huge Train. And I'll let you explain in the video. Tony.
So, a big change for DJI users in the UK and Europe, affecting how and where we fly. Some members of the Grey Arrows Drone Club messaged me today mentioning how the geofencing restricted areas data on the DJI Fly app, and also that's relayed on the Drone Scene website, had all but disappeared, meaning most DJI-based restrictions have been removed from the DJI Fly app, not only here in the UK, but also in much of Europe as well. Sure enough, if you look at what the Fly app restrictions looked like a week ago and compare them to today, you can see a huge difference. It seems that the only restricted zones that appear in the UK now are the Airport Flight Restriction Zones, or FRZs. All the other restrictions that used to appear on the DJI FlySafe map have all gone. Take a look at this screenshot from Drone Scene of the DJI data from a week ago. You can see plenty of restricted areas and the very distinguished grey funnel-shaped altitude restricted areas that DJI had imposed themselves, despite there not actually being any legal requirement for these in the UK. You can see one extending over Ely near the bottom of the picture. Then look at today's data. That same area just shows the simple airport FRZ in the standard round shape with the little runway extensions. Nothing over Ely, and the whole map is way simpler. And again here, up near Preston and Southport, an array of different restrictions on the old DJI GeoZones, but today just the simple airport no-fly zones. And down in Liverpool, over the big stadiums, restricted zones over the 2 big stadiums, today nothing at all. So, what is happening? And does this actually mean you can now fly your drone pretty much anywhere? Well, I don't know. Let's sort that last question out first, shall we? No. To be clear, there is no easing of the rules and regulations on where you're allowed to fly your drone. The same restrictions apply around airports. You cannot fly within 5 kilometres of an airport and its runway extensions. The same goes for crowds, stadiums. You cannot fly anywhere near a crowd of people or within 400 metres of any prison for that matter. And on that, you actually risk a chunky fine if it's just a mistake, or up to 10 years in prison if you're actually up to no good. And these rules apply to all models, including the very small little sub 250 gram models like the Mini 4 Pro as well. So if these rules are still in place, why has the DJI FlySafe database suddenly dropped all of these different area and no-fly zones? Well, DJI explained things in this news release published the other day, which I'll link to below. It's about them transitioning away from managing their own database of restricted areas and passing the responsibility over to the individual aviation authorities for each of the EASA member countries and also the UK's Civil Aviation Authority to manage things themselves. Part of the news release states the move is in alignment with existing drone regulations by EASA and the UK CAA and will provide drone pilots with more freedom to fly. They then go on to list the countries it affects immediately, and this includes the United Kingdom. Now, of course, what they mean by with more freedom to fly is that there is no longer the restrictions that DJI had imposed over and above what was actually regulated. And the disparity between DJI geo areas and the actual legal mandatory no-fly zones, that disparity had been increasing for years, and it was a common complaint of users because they literally just didn't know who to believe when checking if it was safe or legal to fly. And this caused real issues when you knew that you could legally fly in a particular area, but the DJI geo zone was stopping you from even taking off. Now, last autumn, the UK CAA issued a safety notice instructing drone pilots to disregard drone manufacturers' geofencing applications and to make sure they were aware of the actual applicable airspace restrictions in place for the location that they were flying in. Section 1.4 had an interesting paragraph as well, mentioning that drone pilots must be able to download the latest version of the geographical zone data and be able to upload it into the Geo Awareness System. And so then we get the recent DJI Fly app update in December, just a few weeks ago, that introduced new functionality to do just that, adding in its release notes support for manual import of dynamic safety database in the EASA member states and the UK to comply with local regulations related to unmanned aircraft. And here we are today. DJI have now removed all but the bare minimum airport flight restriction zone information from the FlySafe app, presumably in readiness for the CAA or other EU countries to allow us to upload the latest data. Now, I'll be honest, I genuinely don't know if they're expecting the general public to manually upload any database the CAA may offer us. I'm kind of hoping no, because I'm guessing around 1% of users will actually know how to or even bother to do that. The fact that I can see the airport FRZs tells me this is already a semi-automated update from the CAA information that will probably be expanded on very soon. But I don't actually know that for sure. So in the meantime, what is the best way to make sure that it is safe and legal to fly? Well, I have already done a video on the Grey Arrows drone scene site. It used to be free, but it's now either £16 a year for the full functionality of the interactive map or £25 a year to also include liability insurance. So in my opinion, still a very good deal. Really is a brilliant website, and I link to that in the notes of every video I put on YouTube because it is so useful for UK flyers. However, if you don't want to part with your money, then you can also use the Drone Assist app by Altitude Angel, which is free, but in my opinion, nowhere near as useful as DroneScene. But either way, you have got good sources of information that tell you exactly where you can and can't fly and whether or not there are any airspace restrictions or other hazards. This situation, though, may change soon, as it is clear the DJI Fly app is being updated to expand its usefulness in determining where it's safe to fly. You can see that after last month's update, the DJI Fly app has changed and it is now offering a new Fly Spots functionality that shows the basic no-fly zones in orange, and it is beginning to populate with places that people fly from, and I'm guessing we're going to get more on that coming soon. Anyway, look, super quick video today just to reiterate that you can't fully rely on the DJI FlySafe interactive map now, and the bottom line is that the buck will always stop with you, the drone pilot, as to whether it's safe and legal to fly wherever it is you're flying. I get the feeling that there's going to be a lot more on this very soon. But for now, let me know your thoughts below. Till next time, stay safe, fly safe, have fun, happy flying.
Oh, brilliant video.
Well explained, Ian. Well explained.
I have to say, both Ian and Stephen, the videos you're putting out now is really easy to follow. I've watched other people, and there's so much that it goes over your head. Both your videos where you're letting us know about stuff now, they're straight to the point. There's no flannel with it. It's just getting straight to the point, what it is. It's like that video was 6 minutes, 7 minutes, straight to the point. Stephen's videos now, 4 or 5 minutes, straight to the point. Not like me, Dave.
What are we on at the moment? Hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on overtime now. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
I'll mention money. We only have 2
on the
videos.
action now as well. I've got another dog who's like, what's happening? Dad?
Oh, who's that?
Yeah. That's Molly.
Hello, Molly.
She's a bit more camera shy normally. Ted's the one that is, oh look, she's always like, Daddy, I don't want to be on camera. Right.
Ian, can I ask you a quick video about that? Can I ask a quick question about that video? So,
yeah, of course, mate. Yes.
Really, really informative. And I think Tony said like 6-7 minutes long, but obviously you could see a lot of preparation had been put into that video. Lots of screenshots have gone into it. So how long did that actually take you to produce before you?
That's a day's work. It's normally about, so even just the editing alone, where you've got multi-layer screenshots and bullet points and the like, you normally allow about an hour per minute of video. So with that one, it was Rich Pingspike from Grey Arrows who actually called me, messaged me and said, have you seen what's happened to the... So we had a bit of a chat, and I then had to look into it and then had to investigate what was going on. So that wiped out 4 hours. Then I had to write down loads of notes, and obviously I have bullet points with a big whiteboard with the main bit, because I can't remember section 1.35. I have a few notes to
I thought you were doing that all straight out of your head.
I thought that as well, Ian. I thought you know it so well.
So I have the bullet points that I want to, otherwise I keep repeating myself as well, and I'll be going round, it'll be a lot longer than 6 minutes. And then you've also got to do the screenshots. You've got to actually grab the screenshots themselves, and then you've got to pile it all together. And you often have, literally about 8 or 9 rows of stuff to splice together. So that was more than a day's work there. So yeah, you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it for the fun, really. So
but you can tell how much effort was put into that. Honestly, it's such a good video. And I think the other thing that kind of makes you stand out is this like natural approach that you've got to the camera, a natural approach you've got when you're talking. It's I don't know.
We do think it's all in your head, you see. So
now I know when I watch a video, I'm going to know there's a whiteboard.
There's a lot in here. It's getting it out in a cohesive and orderly fashion that is the hard thing.
It's true. I mean, you can sit with an idea for a video, and you know what you're going to say, and you know the content and the screenshots and everything. But then you're kind of thinking about, okay, how do I start this? What do I do?
Yeah.
And how will it end? And then and I'll spend probably like you, Ian, you spend more time thinking about it. And then when it comes to doing it, it can seem more natural in a way.
No, it's brilliant.
In truth, I'm sure you've seen some of my wind tests that I've done, and when I'm flying and testing, I actually prefer those because I do those live. I always do them if it's like a test to see if something works. I do that live for the first thing so that I get a real reaction, and I don't have to think about it. I literally just say what's on my mind. You'll normally see the excitement or the disappointment or whatever. But those videos are, I think, a lot more fun because I don't have to think. I just do it, and it just comes out. But these ones where there's a lot of technical elements, you have to be careful.
You've got to do your research.
Yeah, you have to do the research.
You've got to get it right.
You have to have a proper running order of right, I'm going to start off with this, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. And so you just have some bullet points, so you can kind of glance over and just think, right, yeah, I need to cover that.
Proper running order. That's what we need.
Running order. Like what we normally have, except this week, Tony just didn't bother. It's like
no, because this week was supposed to be all about specials, 2 special royalty guests, and all the videos that we've shown were all premieres, not shown anywhere before. And I wanted to keep you on the ball or on your toes.
Exactly. So here is the running order. We have 9 videos, 4 from you two, 5 from another, and that's it.
Yeah,
that was
that's about it. Yeah.
Jackie, this is the live equivalent of a wind test. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm full of wind? Anyway,
we better crack on. My pizza's getting cold.
1 hour and 20 minutes. Let's keep going.
Jackie, over to you.
Well, it's probably Tom's video now then, because process of elimination. Another premiere from what's the channel name? Something 63, isn't it?
Drone
63.
I did tell you this would be a different show than normal.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't tell us why.
Well, here we are at Bamberg Castle. Now the castle has been on my to-do list since I first started flying a drone over a year ago. And what a fantastic location it is. Just a little bit of background history on the castle. Bamberg Castle is on the northeast coast of England by the village of Bamberg in Northumberland, and it's a Grade 1 listed building. The site was originally the location of a Celtic Brittonic fort and may have been the capital of the kingdom of Bernica, for its foundation was set in AD 420 to AD 547. After passing between the Britons and the Anglo-Saxons 3 times, the fort came under Anglo-Saxon control. The fort was destroyed by the Vikings in AD 993, and the Normans later built a new castle on the site, which forms the core of the present one that we're here to today. So if you like the vlog, then please leave a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe, press that like button, and not forgetting the notification bell. Enjoy the film.
You're on the screen. You're on the screen. You're on the screen.
Lovely.
This is the reason why the cat fell off the table, because she was chasing him. Yeah.
So it's go on.
Is it just me, or is the world just completely covered in scaffolding these days?
No.
I see it all these nice building castles, and it's covered in scaffolding. It's just everywhere you go, all over the world. There's,
I was trying to find a hotel a couple of weeks ago, and I kept driving past it because I thought there was this derelict building full of scaffolding, and I ended up phoning them and saying, I can't find you. I said, where are you? They said, oh, where are you? So I described where I am, and they're like, we're right in front of you. I said, no, it's just scaffolding. They said, we're behind the scaffolding.
Actually, Stephen, I've got your last video, or was it your first one? I don't know. You had a little bit of graphics about like a Pac-Man YouTube's logo being eating up the subscribe button.
Yep.
Where did you get that from? That was awesome.
Somewhere, I can't remember. I can send it to you if you want.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
What editing software do you two both use?
Ian, what do you use?
Sorry, I did. There's 6 of us on screen. I didn't know who you're talking to. I use Premiere Pro. Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually using LumaFusion because I'm always on the go.
And what about Ian? What do you use?
Adobe Premiere Pro. So I just have it on the laptop. I've got a huge, great, big, powerful desktop that I never use because it's stuck upstairs, and I just have it on the laptop and wherever I go. Because I've even done some videos in the camper van and had to edit on the go up there. So yeah, it's
that's great. I was going to ask you a question about your camper van. Do you still use it a lot?
Yeah, that's why I'm not putting out so many videos at the moment. I'm having too much fun in the van.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Oh, hello. Yes. Someone's getting very bored here. We can't be too much. She's like clawing at me.
So. Walkies.
So, I know. All right, man. We've got to go to the vets tomorrow morning, actually. She doesn't know yet, poor little thing.
Oh, don't tell her then.
Don't tell her.
No.
Well, we've only got one more video left, I think.
Okay, let's go for it.
What have we got?
This is for me for a change. I'm going to introduce a video. This is Eye in the Sky. This is Jim.
You do it. This Eye in the Sky, you say?
Sharp, Dave. I've had 15 versions of this video sent to me. And he eventually agreed to this one. This is filmed where the Da Vinci Code was shot. And it's Eye in the Sky, Jim.
The Holy Grail, the ancient Rosalind awaits. starry skies. The dawn in Master's loving arms she lies.
Cool.
Yes. Even got Tom Hanks to do the narration. Brilliant.
Yeah, we might have a copyright strike on that one, but
we get a copyright strike every week.
Yeah, we don't care. We do it for the fun. We don't do it for the money. He was telling me that he did the inside with an Osmo 6 in his pocket, so he did, because the people who were doing the talking round, they didn't like. They said, we don't want any footage in here, so he had the Osmo 6 or Osmo 3 in his pocket.
What? That's absolutely true. That really annoyed me. I went up there and they got big. You can't take photos inside the chapel.
Okay.
And they say it's because it doesn't. They don't want to distract from other people's experience. So I was
What a
so
load of rubbish.
pissed off with that. I literally went into the car park, got my drone, and did loads of flights around the outside. I wish I had the FPV just to really piss them off. But I wondered how it got the inside footage, because they're a bunch of bloody dragons up there. They really are.
Yeah, so he was basically, he was in a group with a tour, and the tour guide was doing that. And when they weren't looking, he had his Osmo 3 and he was out getting his footage. And he's brilliant editing, because you think if you're getting your Osmo out, you're putting it here and you're putting it there and putting it back in your pocket again. But he's another nice man. He's brilliant.
Nice video.
It's brilliant. Anyway.
Right, it's 9:30. It's my bedtime.
We're finished. Yes, I can't thank you enough. I really, really appreciate you both coming in.
Big thank you to both of you.
Great fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Ian, good to see you.
And you, matey. And I look forward to your next video. It's always, as you can tell, I am a fan of yours.
Thank you. Can I get a hat? Can I get one that says Ian in London?
I need to get some merch done, don't I? I haven't got any merch.
Stephen, I guess ours are in the post, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have any left. I do have a bunch of luggage tags, though. I've got some tags. So
we'll take those.
Any freebie.
I've got not somewhere as well, mate. I think you gave it to me at Dronex last year.
I did.
Yeah, that was it. You see, kept it. Right, I'm going to go have some pizza and a beer.
Yeah,
anyway,
good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Okay, take care, guys. Cheers again.
See you next week, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, where's the button?